short story by Paul McCann, The Lucky Little Bunny. As the story goes, once when the world was covered by fantastic magic forests of treacle trees that filled the ground and crispy honey grass growing around, there were some very special places that existed within the realms of understanding. Some of these spaces were regarded as fairyland and not as a materialistic wasteland where we find ourselves living today. Before Easter had arrived, there was not much need for chocolate and caramel, and the rulers of fairyland were considering cutting down the chocolate forests and mulching them into chocolate chips to cover the rocky caramel outcrops. Candy-covered clusters of wildflowers had scattered themselves amongst the caramel stones, and unless something was done, the fudge forests would be overrun by nuts and nougat. In the mists of time before the fairyland migration began, all the bunny rabbits had awoke from their long winter sleep to collect nuts and berries. There was so much chocolate lying around the forest that no one worried or wanted for a feed. A furry black little rabbit called Skip scurried through the forest and stopped to say hello to a squirrel halfway up a tree. "Nuts, nuts, nuts, it's the season to be gathering again," said the squirrel. "I'm fed up with all this," said Skip the rabbit. "With what?" the squirrel replied. "It's always the same thing, year after year. Sleep and eat, hibernate and hop and gather again. I need a change of scene. I need something else in life. I want to experience different things about life." "I don't even know why. Goodbye," said the squirrel, who ran off into the leafy treacle overtop. "Goodbye and enjoy the nuts," said Skip, who hopped off into the forest. He hopped and hopped and hopped for days and days and weeks, until he felt a large pair of hands grab him. In a brief moment, Skip was thrown into a Haitian sack and carried away. The hours flew past, with Skip all huddled up inside the sack. Skip was bundled out from the sack into a cooking pot that hung over an open hearth fire inside an old cottage. An old woman's voice broke the silence. "I'm sorry, little bunny, but I must cook you up. I'm very hungry, and if I don't have you for dinner, I will surely perish." Skip glanced at the old woman and said, "Well then, if you must eat me, could I just have one last look at the world and take one last deep breath of fresh air?" Smiling, the old woman nodded, and she lifted Skip and walked over to the window. And she opened up the window, and immediately Skip hopped out of her arms and hopped away from the cottage. Out he went down the road, the old woman screaming from the door. "Come back, little bunny!" she screamed. But Skip was gone in a matter of seconds. Ooh, that was a close call, said Skip. Suddenly, another pair of hands grabbed Skip by the ears as Skip was trying to catch his breath beside an old tree stump. "Now I've got you," said a deep, harsh voice, staring into Skip's face. "You're mine." Skip hung there, suspended by the man's hands in mid-air. The hunter licked his hairy lips, and he gave a hungry smile. His wolfhound started barking, which made Skip very frightened. But somehow Skip summoned up the courage to say, "Please, don't eat me. You'll find that my skin is too tough." The hunter laughed. "I don't care how tough your skin is, because I'm so hungry. I could probably swallow you without even chewing." Skip took a big gulp and a gasp and said, "Well, I don't mind if you eat me, but the thing is, I'm much better cooked in hot water and herbs over a big fire. A big fire." The hunter thought about that for a minute and was just about to put Skip down on the ground and light a fire when Skip said, "Don't you think that you should tie up your wolfhound in case he eats me up first before you light the fire?" "Oh, that's a good idea. I never thought of that." So the hunter started to tie up the wolfhound, and then he looked at Skip on the ground, and it was too late. Skip jumped and made a dash for his life. "Bye-bye," said Skip, who was out of sight in seconds. Skip rested on top of a hill and saw that the Fudge Forest wasn't that far away, so he decided that he would make his way back to safety in the Fudge Forest. So he started to hop in the direction of the forest. He hopped and he hopped. Suddenly another pair of hands grabbed him, and his little heart jumped in his throat. "Look at the little bunny! Look at the little bunny!" said one of the children. Some other children crowded around in a circle, laughing and giggling. "It's a bunny rabbit! It's a bunny rabbit! Look at the bunny rabbit! Look at the bunny rabbit!" Skip begged for mercy. "Oh, please, don't eat me." The children began to laugh, and one of them said, "We don't want to eat you. We want to take you home with us. We want to look after you." Skip, who was now all covered in white fur, his black had gone from his coat, from the frightening experience that he had. Look after me," said Skip. "Yeah, you're so cute and lovable. You're a bunny rabbit. Can we keep you?" said one of the children. Sure, okay. Just let me fetch my spare buck teeth and my extra fur coat from my den and my little burrow in the forest, and I'll be right back." "Where do you live, Piggy? Where?" "Over there, in the Fudge Forest," said Skip. "Okay, well, you go get your spare buck teeth and fur coat and come straight back, okay?" "Okay," said Skip. "Right." So they let Skip go, and Skip bounded away as fast as he could back into the Fudge Forest, where he told all of the other creatures about the experience that he had. "Oh, I'm never going to go back. There is no way I'm ever going to go back to the world. I'm staying in the Fudge Forest where it's safe." They all asked, "What happened? What happened?" Well, it seemed everywhere I went, everyone was hungry and everyone was lonely. They wanted to eat me and they wanted to take me home. So, I've been thinking about that. Maybe we could do something about people in the world to make sure that they would never be hungry or lonely again. So from that day, the little bunny rabbit and the other creatures decided they would make some chocolate eggs to fill up the hungry tummies of all those people out there. So they started to make chocolate eggs and fill them with caramel. And once they were done, they were packed into little baskets, and the bunny rabbits from the forest would deliver them all around the world. It became a special time in Fairyland, when every man and woman and child in the outer regions received a chocolate egg and a special caramel fudge treat from their friends from the fudge forest. Aren't we lucky to have such good friends? The end.